Collective, I am tapping into an energy of your person, whether they be in or they're coming in. It's almost like they can't bear to let you go. I don't know, there's something about this energy. It's almost like they've had a bad dream, like a nightmare, that they dreamt that you were with somebody else. And it's all, they've woken up like quite distressed because they're thinking, wait a minute, I love, the collective. I want to go towards the collective, but I haven't gone towards the collective yet because there's a nervous energy that I'm picking up on, beloved. There's a nervous energy with the person that's coming in. It's almost like they feel nervous because one of two things. They feel nervous to come towards the collective because because of the distance maybe, and because of time that's elapsed, and also whatever the conversation was before, it's almost like, how do I go into the collective and start anew, start afresh without rehashing the old? And secondly, they've had sort of like a bad dream. Spirit is saying a bad dream, which was a timeline that is almost like, Spirit is saying it's a timeline that has been played out because they sat in an energy of fear and nervousness. It's almost like there's a proportion of the collective, of those people that are coming in, whether they be masculine or feminine, that are doing the work, but they are still doubting the connection. They are still doubting the chemistry. They are still doubting, thank you, Spirit. They are still doubting the synchronicities and the signs and the messages that they are receiving from Spirit, that you are their person, or that, or maybe you watching this, that person is your person, essentially. So it's really given the energy of, a little more time is needed for healing. It would be really good. You can only work on yourself, beloved. Okay? You see, to bring this connection together, when it's divine timing, you must work on yourself and not sit in your shadow, and not for too long. Not sit, you can sit in your shadow for as long as you want, but not sit in a space, in a place whereby you're just sitting on the fence and you're not working on yourself, or you say working on yourself and in actual fact you're not, because essentially it's all about frequency and vibration. The energy has to be right for this connection to come together. You might think that your energy is okay, but then your other person's energy isn't, and vice versa. So a lot of the collective is in this space of, well, I've been waiting so long. When is this person going to show up? Collective, you have to keep almost evolving within your spirituality. Your soul is forever evolving and trying to experience all aspects of this beautiful divine rock. So keep evolving, keep working on yourself, keep using your discernment, and essentially angel numbers 414, it will come together when the time is right. But that energy was put on me really heavily before pressing play, which is really interesting because the first card that's come out, it says your energy is intoxicating and it's pulling me in. So your energy is pulling your person in. However, it's almost like Spirit is saying it's almost like it's a timeline that's an illusion. A timeline that's an illusion that actually won't come into play because you both know that you have to work on yourselves properly before you can come together. However, it's almost like flipping of the coin. If you choose not to work on yourself, then the consequences are people will move on to other divine relationships, and the person that's left behind will need to work on themselves. That's the energy. That's the energy, essentially. And it's almost like your person has had that awakening, that epiphany. It's almost like your person dreamt it. They woke up and they were a bit like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, look. You're always on their mind. That, even though they've had that dream, look, I was just about to say, even though they've had their dream and they've been working on themselves, they know exactly where they want to go, okay? They essentially don't want to see you move on without them. And yeah, Temperance has had a big hand in this energy, but it's all about divine balance, beloved. Divine balance. It's all about divine balance and frequency and vibration and evolution of one's self. Evolution of our earthbound avatar to catch up to our soul avatar, our soul, beloved. That's what it is. So even though your person has had this dream, they are like, hell no, angel numbers 111. I have come too far to let this divine being out of my energy, out of my space, just let this person go. Hell no. So it's almost like it's a victory and success. It's competing. It's competing for for you. But in that, the competing is leveling up. Look at that. Thank you, Spirit. And I thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. I knew that was the energy that was coming through. I said it. I didn't know this card came out. Thank you, Spirit. They cannot let you go. That dream almost kicked them up the arse. Yeah, it did. And when they had that dream and it kicked them up the arse, they went into an awakening. They went into an awakening. Literally. They had a tower, they went into the awakening, and your person still might be in that awakening. So expect an awakening to come your way, beloved, because that's how it works, eh? And they may have come out of the awakening, right? But they've come out of the awakening knowing exactly what time of day it is, knowing exactly what they need to do, knowing exactly where they need to go, and actually rejecting the null hypothesis, that timeline that they dreamt, and saying no, hell no, that person is mine. Four of Pentacles. I'm not letting that person go. So you see that dream? Bye-bye. I reject the null hypothesis. I know what I need to do. I'm making my way to that person. So essentially the frequency and the vibration that they're emitting now is like a magnet, beloved, pulling you in closer to them without you even realizing it. Wow. Whew. That was a deep channeled message, beloved. Your person, wow. Your person's powerful, beloved. Equally, you are just as powerful as well. Okay? Keep working on yourself. Your person will keep working on themselves. Know that all is well. You will come together with your person if you're not with your person already. And that the both of your energy, the energies between the both of you is literally magnetically pulling the both of you in confirmation across all time and space. Beloved, I love you. All is well.